Dr. Keith Levatino is the superintendent of schools at Little Falls, and they had a bit of a scare. A letter went home to parents last weekend, a bit of a scare with a pellet gun brought to school. And to talk to parents and give us an update on what went down, Dr. Levatino is on the line right now. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kaler. How are you, my friend?
Wonderful. Great to hear from you.
You too. Thanks for having me on.
So what went down here?
So I always tend to look at all positives in situations.
Yeah.
And the one big positive that came from this situation is, like all school districts, we always encourage our students and student body to come to us as adults, teachers, faculty, staff, administration, so be it.
Yeah.
Should they feel that there could potentially be a dangerous situation in the school, if they feel unsafe. And, of course, this is held in a great deal of confidence. It's all confidential. And we really encourage this. And that's what happened in this case. Some students were aware that a student did bring this pellet pistol, as it's referred to by law enforcement, to school and informed our high school principal, Mrs. Dooley, who immediately put our process and procedures into place.
Yeah.
And what that goes is she finds out the exact student, does a search of the locker, book bag. We take it, as you can imagine, very seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she found this pellet pistol in this individual student's book bag, immediately confiscated it, worked directly with our school resource officer, who is a Little Falls police officer. We have them in both school buildings.
Mm-hmm.
They, in a collaborative manner, worked with us. Immediately took the pellet pistol over to the police station, and then they do their investigation.
How did you find it? Was it in a bag? Was it in a locker?
Both.
Both.
In the student's locker, in a book bag.
Okay.
The book bags that they have and so forth.
Yep.
She found it, looked in immediately. There were no pellets, I guess they're referred to, so I guess the term is it was not loaded. There was nothing of that. It was just an empty cartridge, I guess is the best way to say that.
And how old, what age group are we talking about? With the
high school.
High school kid, yeah.
Yep,
now, do you have any idea, was this done to scare someone, to impress someone?
No, we actually believe there was no intent at all. We actually believe, I'll use the term an unfortunate accident. The student inadvertently brought it to school. Not that I condone having that for anyone or any student, but you can buy these things anywhere and have access.
Yeah.
And based on the investigation and the collaboration we had with the Little Falls Police Department, we believe there was no intent to bring harm or even scare anyone at all. It was just an unfortunate accident. However, as the superintendent, I have zero tolerance for that. And we follow our district's code of conduct to a T. Weapons of any type aren't allowed not only in the school buildings but on school property, per our laws, per state laws, the whole bit. So we follow the code of conduct in this situation to a T.
If I know these guns, this gun can definitely, a pellet gun could hurt somebody. Could kill somebody. They come
when
with
I saw it, first off, it looks like a real. It is a real.
Comes with an air chamber that you put into it, and it's that air that allows it to fire. Yeah. But you could kill somebody with a pellet gun.
I've heard stories that these pellets can go through definitely wood doors, possibly metal. Absolutely. At the minimal, cause damage to eyes. The whole bit.
Sure.
So yes, it's a weapon.
I want to. So you guys have taken care of it. It's obviously been a week since then. Parents have been assured that. I guess sometimes you have these. I don't want to. This wasn't a drill. This was a real event, but it serves as a nice drill, an active drill, where you guys can make sure your procedures are working and maybe look back on them and say we could have done this a little differently.
Well, and I appreciate you bringing that up because Mrs. Dooley, the high school principal, immediately put the school in a hold in place. We have, our safety plan, and there's 5 variations of lockdowns, hold in place, and so forth. This one required only a hold in place, which meant everyone simply stays in their rooms and no one exits the building or comes in the building. It's not a lockdown, but until she confiscated it and brought it to the office along with the school resource officer.
Right.
So, yes, exactly. So although it's practice, and it proves that practice does make perfect, and it was handled perfectly.
I want to throw one more thing at you on a different topic. I know it was a few months back, you had a situation where you felt that there were kids vaping in the school, even in the classrooms. What have you learned from that? Are there any new policies in place, and do you feel it's been effective up to this point?
I'm proud to say I've gotten calls from other school districts because they've inquired that it seems that Little Falls is a little ahead of the game as far as being proactive with this, having workshops and seminars for our student body. We actually last week, our assistant superintendent, Mr. Tooley, arranged for our school district physician, to do a parent forum on it. The problem is, it's hard to get parents. They're not highly attending. There's not a high attendance rate to solve, but we do offer that. Yep. We also are taking proactive measures. We've purchased detectors, these detectors that can be placed. I'm not going to tell you where. I don't want to give that away, but to alert administration and alert students, because we're at the point now where we just want to do that. We want to provide these deterrents, and it's not about getting gotcha catching. It's about being proactive. It's about preventing, and most important, it's about educating how these things can cause health hazards and be negative. But I related it when I was asked, just as you mentioned a couple of weeks ago, it's the same situation that we dealt with years ago with the whole texting. We found that texting was, these kids become proficient at it, and they're doing it right under our noses in class, doing exams, the whole bit. And we found that this dueling was happening too. So it is a serious problem. I think if you watch our whole area, the Mohawk Valley, I mean, you see, I saw Frankfurt just did something about it the other night, workshops. So we have to be proactive about it. It's all about educating the student body.
1 week to spring break, Keith. 1 week.
Well, and the good news is, Mr. Keeler, that we have 2 unused snow days, so I added one of those, so we're actually starting on the Friday before the break.
Very nice.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Yes, I know everybody's looking for it because March is a long month. Ending of winter, state assessments, still cold, the whole bit. But, yes, we're looking forward to spring break. You going anywhere?
I think we might. I kind of took some time off in February, but I might be taking a little more again, so... What are you going to do? Good. This one will be real vacation, though. I'm looking forward to it. All right, Keith, thank you so much. Dr. Keith Levatino at Little Falls. We really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Have a great day.
Okay, you too. Thanks.
What do you mean real vacation?
I had somebody
tell me. You were up there at the St. Luke's by Marriott, weren't you?
I had somebody say to me the other day, give me a break. You were just off for 2 weeks. Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, it was a real pleasant 2 weeks.
It was a blast. It was a blast. I came home. I had a little less colon.
Everything I was so messed up. My colon went missing.
You must have been partying. You lost 11 inches of your colon. Holy crap.